Hi there. Welcome back to the Pointless Podcast with Carter and Ethan. Today's episode is a special episode because we are talking about conspiracy theories.
Which has been the most requested thing on all the Instagram stuff.
People have been saying, conspiracy theories, do conspiracy theories. And we're like, we'll save an entire episode for just conspiracy theories. Yep. So that's what today is. So I think we're just going to dive right into it and we're going to see how this goes.
Okay, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Why don't you start?
Okay.
I'm going to...
So, I used to watch a lot of conspiracy videos as a kid because I had no life and would sit and watch YouTube all day. But that's okay. So I know a lot about conspiracies, probably more than you.
Probably, definitely.
So I don't believe in a lot of them.
No.
I just found them interesting.
Yes.
A lot of them are definitely false. It's very obviously false.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to anyone who believes in them, but they're probably not true.
Yeah.
So the first one I've written down is something called crime actors, okay? So crime actors is a lot of people on the right, I think, believe in it mostly. Like more right-wing kind of politicians and stuff. But I used to hear a lot about it because a lot of the school shootings and stuff were happening when it was a big thing. So basically what it says is that what's the word for it? The government is taking actors like real people and sticking them at various large tragedies. Let's say Sandy Hook, 9/11, and the reason that people think this is because there was actually one person who was actually, I think, at Sandy Hook and 9/11 on the news. So then people were like, what if the government is putting people at these things as witnesses?
Right.
To either make it sound like more than it was or play it down.
Oh.
And the theory is that they're using this to make, to either use these tragedies and creating the tragedies almost, like fabricating them and using them as either scare tactics or to take away from something else, like take away from another tragedy that America or Canada is creating right now. Yeah. Or just like take away, used as like a way to get people to vote for them or something, like use it as something that they're like, oh, well, I can fight this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, it's a little out there. But there are some like I've seen pictures and I'm like, those two people, if you just if you dyed their hair, gave them the slightest trim, they're the same person.
Oh, really?
So it's like, there is evidence, but I wouldn't say it's like substantial enough to take it as a real thing.
Know. That's definitely kind of like, I don't even know. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I know. Some of the stuff is weird, man.
Yeah, some of the
stuff that people think of is just weird, but no, people believe that. Like, people are like, well, some people believe that Sandy Hook was fake.
Oh, okay. Well,
which is false. It's very false.
That's okay.
Some people think that 9/11 was fake or set up.
Okay, that's set up is different than fake. If you believe that it was fake, I don't even know what to tell you because.
Some people go out land. Well, everyone thinks for anything. There's someone out there that thinks it's not real, like the moon landing.
Fake.
The moon landing was directed by Stanley Kubrick.
Some people think that the moon doesn't even exist.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, I was scrolling through conspiracy theories and I didn't write it down, but because I wasn't sure how good it would really be to talk about. But now that we're here, I scrolled upon one that said that people don't believe in the moon. Like, they think it's just a hologram or like a projection in the sky.
But what's the point of that? What would have the merit to do that? There would be no point.
I don't know. Like, why? Yeah. Like, why? What is the purpose of not having a moon? It's just the moon. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah. Well, I guess the only thing that the moon could be, the only way that would make any sense is if you believe that the moon landing was fake, because then, I guess you would have to if you don't believe there's a moon. But then I guess you could use it as, the government could use it as propaganda to create the space race was a very good thing for America.
So maybe that's where it comes from.
So
I don't know.
That could be it, but still, come on.
Yeah, some people don't believe in the moon.
Well, some people believe the Earth is flat. We all know that.
Some people, yes, that is. I don't know what to tell you, but it's not.
I know some of my friends were telling me that live in the States were actually saying that there's people in their classrooms who actually believe the Earth is flat.
My friends all joke about thinking the Earth is flat, and if you guys are listening to the podcast right now, you might send me a text and go, we're not joking. What are you talking about? And they take it really seriously, but I'm pretty sure it's a joke. I hope it's a joke.
No, the Earth is not flat. It's very proven that the Earth is not flat.
Yeah, there's lots of things you can look at, but I mean, it's fun to. No, it's not even fun to think about. No. It just doesn't make sense.
Conspiracy theories like that don't really make sense to me. Like ones that have no merit. Like it's like, if the Earth was flat, why would it matter? Like what? Who would be like? Who would think? Yeah. We need to tell the people that the Earth is spherical because.
Like, how does that benefit? Yeah. What? I don't know. I just don't think there's any real purpose to thinking that the Earth is either spherical or flat.
No, not at all.
Anyways, should we move on to a new one?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
So I'm gonna start with my two like less ones I didn't like as much. I'm gonna end with the better ones. But so Queen Elizabeth. So this one is that Queen Elizabeth is a cannibal, and that's why she's so. That's why she's still alive, because the Queen is pretty old.
How old is the Queen?
She is like, I think she's like 90 something, like 92, 93. Maybe she's older than that.
91.
Now. At the age of, well, I don't know when this article was written.
She doesn't
2018, so she's like 92, right?
She doesn't look young, though.
But she's apparently, people have said that she's, this person says, she must eat human flesh to be so vivacious. Like, she's very, like, full of energy and, like,
that's
really,
fair.
like...
For a 91-year-old, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that apparently kids would go missing when the Queen would make state visits in, like, Canada. And then also, someone reported that the Queen had kidnapped kids from this place. And... someone who was working at a soldier at like the palace or whatever, an anonymous source reported saying that they found like human remains in a freezer.
That's weird.
So apparently, because the thing that happens is that eating human flesh is like a very like it does something to you that like keeps you.
Some people say that like some like high people, like high up people in the world, they say that some people will do blood transfusions with younger people.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to keep you young, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, because didn't they did something that didn't they test that on like rats or something?
I don't know. Everything's tested on rats, but I don't know.
But I think they did something where they tested like using blood from, I think I actually heard about this on another podcast, actually. I was listening to that, but I think using like younger blood does something that helps. There's an immense amount of spiritual energy in human muscle. So apparently the Queen is a cannibal, and she's eating humans, eating children, kidnapping them, and eating children, and that's why she's still alive.
Here's one I heard about just the Queen in general. A lot of people say that the Queen and Britain is basically a drug ring. That's funny. This one made me laugh. This one actually made me laugh. It's so outlandish, but it was funny. It was the Beatles were created by the British government to break into the American market and display themes about drugs and such, so that the British government could send their drugs towards America. And that's how the drug boom happened.
And it's all because of the Beatles?
And that's all because of the Beatles, man. They're all drug addicts.
Oh, they're all... Oh, my God. Wow.
No, yeah.
That's an interesting one.
I mean, a lot of people just hate on the Queen.
Apparently so.
I guess a lot of people just don't like the Queen. People don't like monarchs, though.
I guess so.
Okay, I have one now.
Right.
So this one's not a real life one. This is about the Rugrats, all right? So you've seen the Rugrats, I'm assuming.
A little bit here and there.
I've seen most people, but you know the gist of the Rugrats. You know the characters, like it's a bunch of babies. Yeah. So Angelica in the Rugrats is the oldest one, right?
Right.
So she's the oldest one to these group of family friends, basically. And the theory goes is that this is kind of weird and kind of out there, but I remember watching a video. I vividly remember watching this video. I don't know why, but I remember it was like COD 3 gameplay in the background with this guy talking about it. I don't know why, but so the theory goes is that Angelica has schizophrenia, okay, and that all the kids are imagined, and that they've all either died or don't exist. So like they say, like the twins died in the womb, and like some of them are just like ideas of the mind, and like it's kind of weird. But
that
yeah.
Yeah, there's always cartoons that have like really like weird,
like the Winnie the Pooh thing.
That's what I was kind of thinking about, the Winnie the Pooh thing, where all of them represent a different mental illness.
That one is true though. Like
that one is true.
Yeah,
he
said it.
I think he's on record saying that that's true.
I think he said it wasn't supposed to be like that. Wasn't the point, but they were like loosely based.
Yeah, it was sort of like a underlying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely like some. It's apparently kids' cartoons. Like when people make kids things, they just really like to make them dark. Yeah. Like subtly dark. That's weird.
You know what I always wonder is what drives you to want to make things for children, like children's musicians. That always confuses me.
Yeah, actually, I never really thought about that.
How do you get into like do you wake up one day and you're like, I want to make a song to help kids learn the ABCs?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because I mean that doesn't appeal to me.
No, not at all.
I'm not like I'm gonna make a song about ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like a really cheery song about ice cream, and like kids love it. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever met someone that's just really been like wanted to do like things oriented towards kids. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're still kids, and maybe you don't really find that until you're older. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, the next one is I'd heard about this before, and I only kind of read into it recently, specifically for this episode. Last Thursdayism. Now this one's very outlandish and stupid, but I find it kind of funny. So last Thursdayism. I hope that was really loud into the mic. This one is called Last Thursdayism. You might have heard of this. Basically, it says that the entire universe was created last Thursday, and all of our memories have been fabricated to think that we have been alive before last Thursday.
Wait, what do you mean?
But how can you...
Last Thursday, infinitely last Thursday?
No, just last Thursday. Like last week on Thursday, the universe was created, and all of our memories prior to then have been fabricated.
Well, then what happens once we go past last Thursday?
It's always past last Thursday.
That's a paradox.
But how do you... But you can't... How do you deny that? How do you deny that the universe was created last Thursday and all your memories are fake?
Okay, well, that's like saying we all live in the Matrix. You can't deny that we don't live in the Matrix.
Exactly. It's just another one of those silly ones. But I'm like, that's so, like, who comes up with that? How are you, like... And the thing... Oh, here it is. It's a reductio ad absurdum, which is a Latin thing for saying, like, reducing an argument to, like, complete and total absurdity just to prove a point. So it basically is against saying people, like, young Earth creationists, who are like, oh, the Earth is only 6,000 years old, even though the Earth is very evidently billions of years old. So then in response to that, you would say, well, if the Earth looks like it's billions of years old, but it's actually only 6,000, as you seem to say, then who's stopping me from saying it was created last Thursday and fabricated to look like it's billions of years old? That's the whole point of that one. And it's like totally silly. It's like, yeah, just last Thursday. That's when the universe was created, just casually, you know? But it's like... How do we know that it wasn't?
That's a fair point. I don't know.
It's just one of those stupid ones, but I kind of like that one.
Okay. Well, okay. I have a bunch of pictures. That's on Reddit. So this isn't really a conspiracy theory, but this is just something fucked up about our world, right? So I'm just going to talk about... This is about, like, media companies and how literally six media companies control almost everything that we watch. Mm-hmm. So, for example, like, Disney owns... Pixar, Marvel, Lucas, they own Disney, they own the Muppets, they own ABC, they own ESPN, A&E, and Hulu. So that's a big chunk of what you watch.
They have a lot.
And Comcast owns Universal, Focus, Illumination, Working Title, NBC, USA, Sci-Fi, the E! Network, the Weather Channel, Bravo, Oxygen, Equinox, and also owns stocks in Hulu.
Wow.
So that's basically... and that's another reason. So... and now Disney owns Fox.
Right.
Who actually owns News? I don't know who this is. It's I can't pronounce their name, but they own another company that owns all the Fox stuff, which is insane because Fox makes like half the stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, if they were to buy Sony, Disney would have a monopoly on everything.
It's true. They would have a huge chunk because Sony has a lot already.
Yeah, Sony has like Triumph and Columbia and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just find that insane because basically if one person wanted to push something in, say, top of Disney, they could because they could push it almost at every front. They have streaming, they have TV shows, they have movies. Yeah. They own everything.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the same thing with one of my favorite things about, well, not favorite, but interesting things, the glasses. Do you know how the glasses companies work?
No.
So every glasses company, and the reason why glasses are so expensive is because every glasses company is owned by Luxottica. So Luxottica owns things like Ray-Bans, Oakley. They own like Pearl Vision, like the places you go, Sears. Like they own all the places you'd go to check your eyes as well. So that's why they can hike the prices of glasses so much. Like glasses used to be way, way more cheaper. Because I don't know, do you wear glasses?
No.
Okay, so if you go buy glasses, the frames are can be like $200.
Right.
And they're just plastic.
Yeah.
It's plastic frames, but Luxottica owns them all, so they have a monopoly. So they can push up the price as much as they want.
Oh.
And any brand that tries to fight that, Luxottica won't sell them in their stores.
Oh, because they have all the stores.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Oakley, because Oakley tried to fight it and put their prices lower, and then they started going under, and then Luxottica bought them.
Oh.
So
because they own all the stores, so they can choose what
gets sold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's weird how like you think there's so many companies, but like there's really not. Like there's like six. Like there is a lot of companies, but when you up the hierarchy, like it all comes back to one thing. And like you're saying, like Disney is just like they are. Mickey Mouse just is the boss of everything.
Exactly.
Like, it's insane how much they own now. And like, I'm like, oh, like this thing, oh, it's also owned by Disney. And
they
I had
own the
no
two
idea.
biggest franchises in the world, Star Wars and Marvel.
Star Wars and Marvel, exactly. Like, what? I don't know how Disney does it, but they own everything.
And everything.
Soon enough.
And they have enough money to buy everything. Fox costed like $108 billion.
Yeah.
And they just bought it to get the X-Men, basically.
Yeah.
Well, they bought it, for their assets, but mostly because they wanted to put out the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
They literally, it was like pocket change to them.
And,
it's insane.
Disney, you should get Sony. Just saying.
Yeah, just buy Sony.
Please and thank you. Okay. So I only got like 4 down. Ethan actually got a lot more conspiracy theories than I did. But now we're kind of getting my 2 kind of more fun ones. This one, the phantom time hypothesis is it's kind of like last Thursdayism, but actually not really. So the phantom time hypothesis is basically there was a ruler, a Roman ruler, I believe it was Otto the Third or whatever, or there's a couple different people. Basically, they were all about like, I want to rule during the year 1000, right?
Okay.
Like they just thought it would be so cool if they could be in power during the big grand year of 1000 AD, or I guess CE is the proper term, 1000 CE. So basically, they changed what it's the theory is that all the documents and stuff, there's evidence that the date has been changed on them by 297 years, which would mean if they actually did this and they changed the dates on a bunch of documents, it would mean that the year currently is not 2019, but actually 1719 or something.
What?
Yeah. So basically, because they were all about wanting to rule in the year 1000, they basically rewrote the history, which would mean we're not actually 2019 years past 0. We're actually only whatever 297 years would put us in the 1700s, because they skipped ahead 200, because it was actually it would have been about the like 700s or 800s or something.
That one is believable. I don't believe that one.
Right? So I kind of almost feel like that could be true. And so there's actually evidence that kind of there's archaeological evidence that says that like the Roman era is not as long ago as we thought it was, which would prove this, because he was basically around in the year like in the like 800s or whatever, and he was like, I want to be there for the 1000, but that's 200 years in the future, so I'm gonna force the date into the future. And that would mean that the Roman era actually happened. Or wait, is that right? Maybe I'm saying this wrong. Either way, supposedly it happened more recently than we actually believe.
Isn't there any more empires that happened around the time, or civilizations that we could find records of?
I think the thing is that there was a couple different people
that wanted to do
the same thing, because there's like 3 of them listed here. So a bunch of people, a bunch of rulers.
The Byzantine Empire, which was the other big one at the time.
So like 3 different big rulers were like,
Pope.
Let's rule in the year 1000, and they just rewrote history, which would mean that it's not 2019.
Yo, that one's crazy.
That one's cool. I like that one.
I've never heard that. That's crazy though.
Yeah, so there's I can't remember how I read this. It was a little bit confusing, but I think it had something to do with archaeological evidence that was saying that like um, the Roman era was closer than we actually think it was, which would mean that because 1700s would be closer to the Roman era than the 2000s.
That's crazy.
So plot twist, it's not 2019, it's 17 something, and I don't remember what the year would actually be, but sometime in the 1700s. So that one's really cool that they just like rewrote, because there's lots of evidence on documents that have been like forged and like the dates have been changed.
That's insane.
So that one's kind of cool. I like that one.
But how would the people not have noticed that they just got changed to the year 1000?
I don't know. Would a lot of just random people have all these documents with dates on them? Probably not.
No, you're probably right.
So like nowadays, no one would be able to do that.
That's insane.
But because I think that long ago, how often were things actually like dated like that?
Yeah.
Probably not that often. So it would be easy to just change the dates on things.
That's crazy.
Anyways.
Okay, that one's good. Wow. Okay. Well, I was on Reddit and I saw this. This is actually what I saw. I saw this a while ago, but this one made me go like, oh my god, just like
yeah.
Okay, but so Facebook. We all love Facebook. Totally non-corrupt,
nope.
well-run company.
Mark Zuckerberg, great guy.
What was I going to say now? I'm losing my train of thought. So this is a theory that the 10-year challenge was created to move along Facebook's facial recognition. Because the exact same time that the 10-year challenge was started, Facebook had just added the facial recognition feature into their software.
Oh.
So, what would be a better way to train your facial recognition feature is if you posted 2 pictures of, like, everyone on Facebook posted 2 pictures of themselves, basically.
Oh.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, because it started at the exact same time. Like, could be coincidence. But,
could be, yeah.
But, like, that seems very far-fetched to do it happen at the exact same time that the facial recognition feature started. Facial recognition is weird.
It is weird. I don't know how it does it.
It's cool, but, like, facial recognition is getting to a point where, like, you could do things like deep fakes.
Yeah,
stuff.
Right, and it's kind of getting
deep
like
fakes are insane because, like, I've used a deepfake software, and I don't really know how to use it, but it works.
It works, right?
Like, I just
but it's a lot of work to do, right?
Well, I only had like a couple pictures, and it looked bad. But I've seen videos on a channel called Corridor Digital, and they got a guy that looked slightly like Keanu Reeves, and they went through all 3 John Wick movies, and then just screen capped every frame of his face.
Yeah,
and it almost looked exactly like him.
Wow.
The only thing that was off was the voice, because it's hard to do the voice.
Right.
But the face, like, moved with him, and, like, nothing seemed off at all.
That's weird. Yeah, it's facial recognition is getting weird. Like, it's really fascinating. The technology is super cool, but it's also like, whoa, like, that's kind of creepy. But, yeah, it's definitely... It's weird how they do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, the funny thing is with my... like the Photos app on iPhone, it has like facial recognition, so you can like if you're looking for a specific person, you can like find them in your photos. My phone detects me with different hair as different people. Really? So I have an album: Carter short hair, Carter medium length hair, and Carter long hair, because it apparently thinks that I'm a different person depending on my hair length, so I can actually find different photos with my different hair.
Okay, well, I have another one. Okay. This one's about a guy named Gary Webb. This isn't really a conspiracy theory.
Isn't that Webb? Gary Webb?
Is it Webb?
Well, there's 2 E's and
there
1
it's
E.
Gary Webb. Sorry, Mr. Webb. I called him a weeb. Okay, but in 1996, Gary Webb exposed the CIA hired drug traffickers to sell massive amounts of cocaine in the United States in order to raise the funds to finance a terrorist organization trying to take down the government in Africa.
Oh,
so that's a true fact. That is a true fact that they did that.
Right.
They also did that kind of to help along the Nicaraguan war when that was going on. But this is about this. And what he did basically is he worked for the CIA, and he basically just exposed everything that they were doing. And when that happened, the media, the government, everyone villainized him, basically ruining his career for basically nothing. He didn't do anything. He was just a whistleblower. But they ruined his career. And then, therefore, slowly ruining his marriage. And because they villainized him so much. And he never stopped. But then years later, he never stopped pushing it because people didn't believe him for a while. But he never stopped pushing it. It was proven, but he ended up being found with 2 bullet holes in his head.
Oh, jeez.
At his home, and it was ruled a suicide. But he was found with 2 bullet holes in his head.
How do you kill yourself twice?
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, how the story goes is that he had 2 guns or something. But, like, I think it was the thing that people were saying that might have been a murder is the gun had fallen at a point where it seemed far-fetched for him to be able to.
Like just the way in his hand for when it fell, like where it landed.
Yeah. And also, who double guns?
I don't know if I've ever seen that in like movies or heard about it.
No.
I mean, maybe this guy was just the first to do it. Maybe he's a trendsetter.
No, yeah,
it's not a good trend, but
I know a lot about like whistleblowers and stuff. That's insane, like that whole stuff. Like Edward Snowden and stuff. Who basically he lives in Russia right now. Edward Snowden. Mm-hmm. He basically has escaped the American government to live in Russia, and they made one of my favorite movies actually about him. But he basically exposed the FBI for always watching us, like not us because we live in Canada, but America.
But
and he basically he basically just exposed America for all the things like webcam, like viewing and like listening into phone calls, etc., etc. But that I find that stuff really cool. But it kind of sucks that they get so villainized. Yeah,
just for exposing stuff.
It's insane. But no, I think if there weren't whistleblowers, we wouldn't know half the stuff that we know.
That's true. It's helpful, and I mean, like, thank you to the people who do that and to get 2 bullet holes in their head.
Yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about cults, which isn't really a conspiracy theory.
I like
but
cults.
I am very interested in cults.
So am I.
I find the idea of it very odd. I find the idea of all religion and various groups kind of odd.
Yeah, it's just
I'm nothing
like
against it.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's just like it's interesting how these people just like come together because of this like thing. But like cults are so cool. Not
Carter, me and you are going to join episode 6. Carter needs to join a cult.
This whole podcast is just a cult. If you're watching this, you're part of the cult.
You're part of the cult.
No, but yeah, they do interest me. Like, regardless of actually, the scarier and the more morbid they are, the more interesting, I think. As weird as that is. But, like, I love reading about, not that I've read about a lot, and I'm sure I'll learn some stuff when you talk about it right away, but I find them so interesting in the weird stories about these different cults and, like, how they go about life and stuff. And it's just really interesting. Anyways, I'll let you take it away on cults.
So the first one that I actually just reminded me of, because you said the darker. So this one's called the Heaven's Gate cult.
Okay.
So it was led by a guy that I can't remember the name of. It's a bald guy. I can't remember his name. But he was an older guy. And basically their idea... So they all lived in a mansion together, basically. Mm-hmm. I think it was a rented mansion. And they had this idea that the world was coming to an end, basically.
Right.
And... so their plan was to all kill themselves before it came to a full end.
Right.
And they said that if they went now, they would go up to heaven and get into Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
AKA the name.
Right.
But, so basically what happened was this guy that ran it, he didn't tell them when they died. Like, so they all died peacefully because I think it was a drink that he made. Everyone in the cult.
So it's like...
And it was poison. Even him. He poisoned himself. He poisoned everyone, and they all died. And there was like 40 of them.
And this is different than the Kool-Aid one?
What was that?
The Kool-Aid cult? Like Jim Jones? The people that like lived in the jungle and like...
Oh, yeah, it's different. I don't know what that is.
Oh, you've never heard about that one?
No.
That's like one of the most infamous
what's that one?
big cults. But that one was... I'm not sure. I'm doing this off of memory. I remember this is kind of like... Kool-Aid cult, as they've been dubbed, which lots of people know about. Again, I'm doing this from memory, but I remember watching a documentary about it in grade 9 social studies, because that class, just side note, that's my grade 9 social studies class, we just watched documentaries and we did no assignments. It was the best class I've ever had. I learned a lot without doing assignments. We just watched documentaries about like like cool things like that, and one was about a cult. Anyways, so there was this guy. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't really know it that much, but this guy formed this cult, and I think was it South America they lived in or something. They lived in this like place somewhere in the jungle or something, and basically they all died because they all drank this like punch, and it was all like poison. I can't remember what it was poisoned with. I'm doing a really terrible explanation of this, but that was the gist of it. And they all drank this punch, and they all just got poisoned and died. And that was kind of part of the cult. And so they're the Kool-Aid cult because it's like juice.
That's weird. People are weird, man. Okay, here's another cult. I can't remember the name of this cult, but they're more of a religious cult, like a hard. Yeah. I think it's a hard version of Christianity, and they actually bring people in via a deli, and we have a deli of theirs here in Winnipeg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called the Yellow Deli.
Oh.
It's I don't remember around where it was. I think it's a little farther downtown, but it's called the Yellow Deli, and according to the website, it has good reviews. But
the cult or the deli?
The cult.
The cult has
5-star on
Yelp review on the cult.
No, but it's just like a hard Christianity, and they bring a lot of people in through the deli because they don't.
Do you want to join it? Mm-hmm. Do you want to join it?
I wish. We should go to the deli. We should go to the deli.
We'll do a vlog.
Can we go to the deli? That'd be so cool.
That'll be.
I don't think they actually like put like I don't think they like give you your food and they're like.
You must join us.
So, what do you think about Jesus? Like, no, I think they like push their ideals at you through that kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
But I just found that interesting that they catch people through a deli.
Yeah, what a way to do it.
Or
maybe it works.
And here we go. So the most famous cult, Scientology.
Yes.
Church of Scientology. Yeah. I've watched so many documentaries on people who have left Scientology and kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
They take all your money.
Yeah.
To join, it's like $10,000. You have to do these courses, and you have to do like.
It's weird.
It's a weird thing.
It's like a very corporate cult kind of thing.
And what they believe is so outlandish, like Xenu. Their god is named Xenu.
Yeah. I
don't remember how it goes, but like he's an alien. He's
that's what it is. So I haven't actually. I'd actually like to look more into Scientology because I don't actually really know the gist.
You don't even touch Scientology in Winnipeg?
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
We should go.
Well, Carter and Ethan go to cult adventure.
I'm gonna make a vlog on my channel, and it's just gonna be Carter and Ethan visit cult places. We're just gonna drive around the city everywhere that we can find that has like cults. I think that's a fantastic idea. Yeah, I don't know much about like the details of Scientology. I just know that Tom Cruise is part of it.
And John Travolta.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's like the big guy in it.
Oh, I just always knew Tom Cruise.
No, there's a couple of really big names in Scientology. I don't know if they just. I don't know. It's weird, and also they hate being like made fun of.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen South Park, right?
Not particularly.
Okay, well, the chef in South Park was also a Scientologist, and they did an episode making fun of Tom Cruise and Scientology, so he left, and that's why the chef character left the show.
Oh, really?
Because they're very what's the word for it?
Sensitive?
Yeah, sensitive about their
weird
thing.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. But cults they're a weird thing.
They are a weird thing, yeah.
I don't know. It's so interesting to me that how not even gullible, just like willing someone is to just believe anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, so this is my last one, and then we're going to go into Ethan's last one, and that'll be the end of the episode. So my last one that I have here is about the Black Knight satellite, and that's Knight as in Knight, not Night. Not that it matters, but so this satellite is now the title of this article: "The Black Knight Satellite: Space Junk or 13,000-year-old Alien Tech." This is basically a satellite that no one really knows how it got there, and both the U.S. and the Soviet Union have shown particular interest. I'm quoting this interest in this unidentified space object. So, first of all, my first thought is if the USA and the Soviet Union don't know what it is, aren't they like the two biggest like space ones? So like if they don't know what it is, then what is it? And the other thing is that apparently the first time signals were picked up from it was in 1899. And as far as I'm concerned, nothing was orbiting Earth in 1899, correct? Because they could not have sent anything into...
Yeah, exactly.
So, and it was it kind of, I think it picked up a lot of popularity in the 50s because there's some like old news articles about this. And so apparently, let's see if I can find this part. This might take a second or two. But they were receiving signals from it, and apparently it was some space chart of some... Here, where is it? This might take me a second. Why is this taking so long? Basically, it apparently, based on these signals they were getting, was something from some other galaxy or something, or what was it, a star system?
Okay.
And so, if this is all true, it's from some, like, 13,000 years ago, came from this other, like, star system or something.
Whoa.
I don't know how true any of this is, but it's there. It's orbiting the Earth, and there's lots of pictures here, and no one really knows what it is, and it just...
Yeah, I know, it's hard to say what that looks like. It kind of looks like a bird.
Yeah, it looks like a really big bird. So, I don't know.
I don't think birds are orbiting the
Birds are not orbiting the Earth.
Birds are fake. That's the best theory.
The birds work for the bourgeoisie. Yeah, so basically, I'm really struggling to find the part in the article where it said what it was. Oh, here it is. A ham radio operator who apparently decoded a series of signals received from the satellite, interpreted as a star chart centered on the Epsilon Bootes star system, and that the Black Knight originated from the system 13,000 years ago. So it's a constellation. The Epsilon Bootes is a double star in the northern constellation of Bootes. It has basically you can see this constellation with the naked eye at night, but like. Anyways, I don't know how true this is. Did it come from there 13,000 years ago and is it alien? I don't know. I'd like to think yes, because I definitely think there's aliens out there.
Do you really think that there's aliens?
Yeah.
Do you think there's aliens as in...
I think we talked about this in the last episode, right? We talked about a little bit of space stuff.
I don't know, but do you think there's aliens in the sense of like the green, like... Bleep,
like
blop,
big-headed, like big eyes?
Or do you think there's like aliens as in... foreign people that aren't us, like as in like say another human race that has let's for example they have just like 3 eyes, like just something,
but they look similar to humans.
Yeah, they look exactly like humans.
Well, I think
3 eyes.
That's the thing that I think, because you got to look at how big the universe is and it's ever expanding, and the fact that there's definitely life out there. Like obviously I can't say with 100% certainty because I've never seen it, but I can say with 99% certainty that there's got to be life. There's no way that
planet right now that we, at least in our view,
right,
that can sustain.
But you got to remember how big, and they know that there's there's planets in star systems that are like 12,000 light years away. So even if we were traveling at the speed of light, it would still take 12,000 years to get there or something. Mm-hmm. So really far away, but it's in a habitable, the Goldilocks zone, as it's called. So the habitable life zone around a star where it's warm enough for life, so like water and life can exist. Basically, my point is life on other planets, not in our solar system.
So it would make sense for it to have 13,000 years to get here.
Right, yeah. So it's possible. I definitely think that, and that's the thing that's cool to me, is that we think about all this like high-tech, like weird-looking aliens, but honestly, there's probably civilizations on other planets that are like us, like living in houses. They've got stores that they go to. They have, maybe they have social media. You know what I mean? Like they're not necessarily these like super advanced, like weird alien things that like just have this like weird technology and like don't have like regular lives like us. Like we always assume that in like movies and sci-fi stuff that they're just these weird beings, but there's the size of the universe, I bet you there's definitely a civilization out there similar to humans, and that's really weird. That's kind of cool to think about. Yeah. That like there's people with like houses like us. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just theorizing, but there definitely could be. So maybe this satellite is 13,000 years old from a different star system, and maybe they're here to spy on humans. Who knows?
That's crazy. Okay. Well, we'll get into my last one.
Yeah, and then we'll end this.
Yeah. So my last one is talking about frequencies and sounds, basically. And it's not much of a conspiracy theory, but it's more of just a nice mind thing that goes with your mind. Some of it is a conspiracy theory.
Right.
But, so I'm just going to start with this. So you know the Yanny and Laurel thing, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to start with that, but
Yep.
you know how big that was, right?
Yeah, that was big, yeah.
So I have a clip that, so what I want you to think about, Carter, is the word brainstorm, okay?
Yeah.
So just listen. Oh my God, I almost turned off my phone. I hate my new phone because it always turns off. Here we go.
Watch how close you go to the microphone.
You heard brainstorm, right?
Yeah, I've heard this one before, I think.
Okay.
What's the other word?
Now think of the word green needle.
Right, green needle, yeah.
Okay. And then think about that.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense because you're being influenced, but
Yeah.
it's just so weird to me how the mind can work. And it's because there's a lot of static in there, so your mind doesn't know what to hear.
It confuses it, and then there's different frequencies there's like 2 different sounds happening, right?
Exactly. Also, I heard that with the Yanny and Laurel thing, actually, is people that were younger used to hear Yanny more because there was...
higher pitch?
Yeah, higher pitch.
And then older people
So that
had
brings
lower
me
ones,
to
Laurel.
my frequency thing, which is that music and record labels are actually putting higher frequencies in songs for it to become popular and young people to like it.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's this thing, like, so have you heard The Middle? You probably have. It was like the biggest song of this year, probably.
Maybe.
The Middle.
Probably have.
Okay, and a lot of songs have a lot of these like high-pitched kind of like zinging in them. And a lot of people are saying that they're putting it in there just because that's how people will, your mind will react and want to hear it again. If you're a younger person.
Okay.
And that brings me to the frequency thing where it's saying that with that, if the younger people can hear it and your mind can say hear it but not really notice it. Oh my God. Okay, sorry, my mic fell. So as I was saying, so basically, if we're hearing things and like our mind can't fully decode it but is still hearing it, the government could output things in, say, media of frequencies saying certain things to us without us even knowing. With certain static, like there's clips where you can hear a bunch of static and then they'll play a word for you and then you'll hear it. So we could be hearing things without us even knowing.
Right, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
So we could be always being influenced by something. You could be watching children's TV and they could be saying something to you. You wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So that...
Influencing small children.
Yeah. So that's basically just insane. So that brings us to the end of the Conspiracy Theories episode.
What did we learn today? The Queen is a cannibal. That we are actually not in the year 2019, but sometime in the 1700s because of some crazy rulers.
And that no tragedies exist.
No tragedies exist.
The moon doesn't exist.
The moon doesn't exist.
The earth is flat.
The earth is flat. Me and Ethan are going to join some cults.
Yeah.
Disney owns everything. And...
we're all being influenced.
And we're all being influenced by the government. And also... aliens are spying on us, and birds don't exist.
The world's a scary place.
The world's a scary place, and I love it.
If you would like to see me and Carter go to the deli or do any cult
Scientology
or go to any cult related things, please tell us in the comments.
Let us,
and we will do it.
I mean, yeah, I think we'll do it. We're gonna go to the deli. Yeah. So I think that's the end of the episode. Go follow us on social media. We're on basically Instagram and TikTok. Is kind of where we are. I mean, shut up. Also, I mean, like I'm on Twitter, and like I like a bit more of a following on Twitter because I'd like to start tweeting more, and because that's like stupid and fun.
Yeah.
So follow me on Twitter too. All my usernames are Carter Ketchup. Ethan's a little bit different. You have different ones for different things.
I have Ethan NVM and Ethan Lyric.
Yeah.
You can look up one of those. And go follow my YouTube channel where I make music.
That'll be linked probably somewhere on the screen at the end of this video on YouTube. Otherwise, if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Ethan Lyric on YouTube. Also subscribe to me and my cinematography channel.
That's enough
I think that's all I'm plugging.
Thanks
for listening.
Thanks for 5 episodes. Cool.
Peace out.
Yep.